Hey guys, what's going on? It's Cronin. Okay, so this channel, we talk about different issues like biohacking, quantified self, philosophy with biohacking and quantified self, and kind of like what kind of philosophies are needed in order to really get the most out of those topics in general. And so far, this channel I've done a lot of smart drug reviews, which is awesome, right? The nootropic stuff is a huge part of biohacking. Today, what I wanted to do is think about your interactions with yourself and the world in a different way, and the resources you have to do that, right? So the resources you have to get stuff done could be something like amiracetam, right? It could be something like having a scheduled workout routine, so your mood is elevated and you feel good and you have this sense of accomplishment as well. There's a lot of stuff with workout, whether you're doing strength training or more like endurance type stuff like I do, like running. There's feelings you get from that at least for me, I can't get from a smart drug, right? But today I want to talk about time and days and why that matters. That's coming up. Alright guys, what's going on? So, time is a limited resource. Days are a limited resource. Hours, minutes, right? It's a resource for you. It's limited. It's time. And I've become really aware of this recently because, I rebooted this YouTube channel a couple months ago. The first month or maybe it's been 3 months now, but the first month I was putting out a video every day, really trying to hammer this in, and I was like, oh my God, I'm 27 right now, and I feel like I've lived like so long. I'm going to be 30 in 2.5 years, and that scares me, and I feel like I've gone through a huge chunk of my life not doing anything. I mean, yeah, like I have a bachelor's degree and went to graduate school, but and I do have a really awesome day job. But what contributions have I made to the world? What knowledge have I shared with other people? I just feel like I haven't really been doing much, and maybe this has something to do with what has come to be known as the quarter-life crisis, right? Like, what do you do when you're in your mid-20s before you actually really get set in on a career or honed in on a plan for your life? But for me, yeah, I'm 27, I'm single, I make YouTube videos, I work in cloud computing. But one thing that, this YouTube channel, I didn't even want to do it. I mean, I've had this particular channel since 2006. And I started posting videos, I think, in 2008 or 2009. The YouTuber who actually inspired me to make videos, his name is Ian Crossland. He was talking about some really cool issues, philosophical issues, and I was like, man, I want to join in on this. And he made this particular video. He was like, you. Pointing to the camera, he's like, you. He's like, you want to be a part of this revolution? Go out, buy a video camera, and by the revolution, he meant the YouTube revolution. Pretty sure this is pre-Google buying them. Go out, buy a camera, and join the conversation. And YouTube's tagline back then was broadcast yourself. So that's why I started making videos on and off for several years. I racked up about maybe 100 of them, a little over 100 of them, maybe 150, I'm not really sure. I think I'm closing in on 200 videos now, but I've been like crazy with them recently. I didn't want to do this at all, until my buddy Jack here in Houston, he went to this biohacking conference in Austin. Not really a biohacking conference, it's called Voice and Exit. Not this year, but last year's, 2014's Voice and Exit. And, that's where I saw, Dave Asprey, this guy's on stage talking about smart drugs. I'm like, I know all about this stuff. I've been taking smart drugs since 2007, 2008. And I have a pretty good philosophical education in terms of psychology, transpersonal psychology, which I'm hesitant to really call a science. I think it's more of the philosophy of psychology than a science of psychology, which pairs really well with biohacking. And I was like, well, I can do this. But what was I doing at the time? Well, I was working my day job, which I love. But then during my free time, I'm just sitting around watching Netflix or Hulu all day. Oh man, let's watch every episode of Alias. Let's just do it. Awesome. Get that couch time in. Let's watch every episode of Fringe. I like J.J. Abrams, and if you can't tell, Lost or whatever, And I'm sitting around, and my friend Jack's he's come over to his place, and he's got this video about amiracetam on his computer in iMovie. I think I don't use really Apple products, so I have an iPhone, but and I was like, oh, you're actually doing this? He's like, yeah, man, I was really inspired by the Voice and Exit conference. I wanna start putting videos out there. I was like, man, what have I been doing? And I got this sense, this overbearing sense of me being 27, and because so much time had passed and I had not done anything, it's like, it's too late. I can't move forward. And it was so overbearing. The thought of even starting a YouTube channel, well, I had started one, but to reboot it, the thought was so overbearing because I felt like I had already wasted all these years that I was just like, no. Went back to the couch, right? But Jack really motivated me in sharing that video, and also I reminded myself of this quote from a movie. So here's where some couch time can be beneficial. You do learn things from films or certain films, and it's good to get the relaxation time in. But this movie, Vanilla Sky with Tom Cruise, really like that movie, in which one of the characters says, "Every passing moment is another chance to turn it all around." And you can take that in a couple different ways, but the way that I interpreted that kind of phrase was in a positive way. It's like, you know what? It's like, I can waste all the time I want, but every moment that passes is another opportunity to do what I really want to do. And with the motivation that Jack's given me, and who's another, my friend, another YouTuber on here, and paired with that quote, those two things have really made me go through this experience of making this YouTube channel. And so the first month, I was making a video every day. And a few weeks in, I'm like, oh, I was feeling fear. I was like, oh man, like people are gonna watch these. People I know are gonna watch these videos. Oh, this is terrible. And I'm coming up with all these excuses to like not do it. But I realized that what's really got me through it is that days are a limited resource. Just like, amiracetam's limited in the sense that, is it in stock from people I buy it from? And do I have money to pay for it, right? But time is a limited resource as well. And yeah, it's really easy to like sit on the couch and watch TV and think about, oh, well, I would really love to do X, Y, and Z. But once you get going on actually doing what you want to do, there's so many mental hurdles, at least for me, to break through. Like even after my YouTube channel had been rebooted, I made 29 videos in 30 days. I didn't make my 30 videos in 30 days because I was in the ER for one of those days. Even at that point, I was like, I wanted to quit because I had to work through all these like mental barriers to get through it. And what helped me keep going was that quote, and then of course to kind of friendly competition with Jack and his YouTube channel. And so I really got the sense now, I eventually pulled back to making a video every other day because it was too much for me. Every other day is fine. Every other day I can at least breathe, right, and focus on other things. But I feel like, in a sense, realizing that days are a limited resource and working that into your schedule and trying something out for at least a couple months, because you are going to give yourself every excuse to not do it. If you convince yourself that you have limitations, and you'll have those limitations immediately, because it's so easy to convince yourself of this stuff. But after really hammering at something for a couple of months, suddenly it's no longer, for me, everything flipped around. Like, it was no longer like, oh, I gotta make a video. Oh, I gotta oh, I don't want to do this. Oh, my friends are gonna find out. Oh, like, what is my mom gonna think? Suddenly all that reverses, and it's like, I want everyone to see this. Like, this, I love this. And it's like this huge rocket that launches up into space, which is, for me, the YouTube channel, but it can be any work that you want to do, whether you want to start your own business. I don't know anything about that, by the way, so don't ask me anything about that. But whatever it is you want to do, maybe write a book or something, and no longer is it this chore where you have all these your mind is telling you don't do it, and then suddenly it's it's lifting your entire experience up in the world, and you're like, yes, I love this. And it's then what you wanted to do, and once there's an active kind of force in the world and in your life, and in my case it's this YouTube channel making these videos, then it facilitates your growth, and facilitates that stuff. And days, time as a limited resource, you can let it slip by for days, months, years, as I have, and probably will continue to do in some ways. But as soon as you harness the time and then do some mental battle with it for a couple months and really focus on doing something for a couple months, in my case making videos, then time serves you. And you're like, okay, you work for me now, and you can go and feel amazing about yourself that you accomplished something, and then go work on other things if you choose to do so. So I want to make a quick video about that. And a quick video, I mean like 10 plus minutes apparently. Thanks to y'all if you're still watching, because I really felt like these were some feelings that I wanted to get out there, and I hope you find them useful. That's it for now, guys. Subscribe to this channel if you want primarily more biohacking videos, but this was kind of like a life hacking video-ish. I don't know. Thanks so much for watching, and take care.